Hello friends, welcome back to a new video. I am Bonnie and today I'll be setting up my bullet journal for the month of March. And this is very exciting because we have the first theme event for 2026, which is March Under the Sea, which is basically what I'm doing, obviously, because I wanted to participate. So for this month I'll be using acrylic brush pens. These are one of the mediums that I am trying not to use too much, but this is just the perfect theme for these pens, and these pens are perfect for this theme, so I just had to use them. And obviously we are doing all blues. I did pick 5 colors, and here I'm just consulting my brain dump notebook where I wrote the colors in order so that I don't confuse them, because I'm bound to do that. And actually I'm going to have a behind the scenes video of how I pulled and brought this theme all together, so stay on the look for that. But for now we are starting with the cover page as usual, and as usual this is actually the last thing that I worked on. So I did all of the other pages and then came back and did the cover page, basically because I wanted to get a feel on how I'm gonna do the illustrations. So I finished the illustration in the subsequent pages and then came back to this one, but you are seeing it first. Anyhow, as I said, I'm using my acrylic brush pens from Lango. I chose 5 colors from the Sea Salt series, which is blues, and I'm using them to create this illustration. I'm gonna put the original inspo image on the screen. I just fell in love with this type of illustration and I've been meaning to do one of these for a really long time. I'm really interested in the idea of layering colors and gradient colors and such, so it just felt like the perfect time. And also because I just couldn't find any other illustration in the Under the Sea theme that I liked or really wanted to do. I'm not really gonna talk much about how I picked the theme and all of that, because I'm gonna talk about that a lot in the behind the scenes video that I was telling you about. So if you have these brush pens, the colors would be 204, 203, 202, 206, then 207, from lightest to darkest, that being for the blues and such. And then I also pulled some yellows and yellow reds and such for the fish and the coral reefs. So for the fish I used yellow 126 and yellow 125. Actually on the cover page I did not reference my page color code or whatever, and I mixed them up. So on the cover page I used the colors that I intended to use for the coral reefs, which are the red yellows 04, 03 and 05. But it's fine. And then I pulled some yellows as well, and some dark bluish greens and such from the colorful blacks, so 901 and 902, and also pulled the green, the darkest, the 109. But I colored everything, used a teeny tiny brush when needed, and then used a white paint pen to add on those wispy paths, if you will. And that's basically everything I did for the illustration. For the cover page title I added March in this beautiful fancy font. I had it in stickers but I didn't have the correct colors, so I traced it from the stickers and then outlined it with this gel pen from Pilot Juice. It's the black blue color basically. And then I actually added letter stickers underneath the March title to spell out March Under the Stars, except I ran out of a lot of letters, so I DIY'd a little bit of them because I'm not gonna buy stickers in a color that I'm probably not gonna use anymore. And then also added a mini calendar because I really wanted to have a mini calendar on the cover page, but that's basically it. For the monthly log, we have another illustration, very similar to the one on the cover page, and I started with layering the blue colors in the order that I've mentioned, starting with the lightest, ending with the darkest, and touching up between. I ended up doing 2 layers, so I colored all of the waves, let them dry, and then came back and gave them another layer. These pens are opaque immediately, but I just like to get a smooth, very opaque layer basically. But it could be skipped, no problem. This illustration had considerably more coral reefs and fish, so it was a little finicky getting in between all of those when coloring the background, but I'm really happy with how everything turned out altogether. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. Now you're gonna see me, I finished the illustration at a rough point up at the top, so it's a rough straight edge, but then I go behind the scenes, I think, and then add or continue the illustration all the way until it blends off the page, if that makes sense. You will see me do it later. Here I'm doing the fish, and again this time I used the correct colors because this is the illustration that I did first. So the fish in the 2 yellow colors, and then the coral reefs in the reds and the greens. And I don't really like how the fish turned out in this illustration. They look a little weird, but I couldn't fix them, and I'm choosing to ignore the wonkiness of them. Now around the waves, like outside of them, there are these small bubbles, we could say. So I colored them with the lightest color, but then I actually used a light gray brush pen and just colored over them to tone down the blue a little bit. And it's worth mentioning that choosing blues for this theme took a lot of thinking, because not all blues look good together or look good on craft paper. And I did some research and found out that I needed to choose some cyan or turquoise undertones and such, and thankfully I had those, so it worked out. But yeah, it definitely took me a while to settle on the colors, but in the end it all worked out, and I love this. I love this so much. But this illustration and the one on the cover page are basically the only drawn elements in this theme. Everything else is going to be colors and outlines. So above the illustration I have a mini-ish calendar that I did with a grid, obviously with the dark blue gel pen, and I rounded the corners because I wanted rounded corners for everything here. And again, I wanted to use that font, but I didn't have the correct color, so I traced the first letter of each day of the week on top to signify which day it is. And I really like that March also starts on a Sunday. It's very satisfactory. We won't have that happen again for a couple of months, but it's nice while we had it for February and March. After numbering the calendar, I went ahead on the other page or other side of the spread, which is gonna have my dashboard thing. So I did 3 large columns with rounded corners, and I am using these beautiful cyan blue letter stickers, nail art letter stickers. They are tiny, and for some reason I had such hard time with these stickers, like getting them to last the entire theme and month. I had to stretch them quite a lot. I've cut a lot of D's to become A's and vice versa, but yeah. Once I placed the stickers to form the titles I needed, which are finances, priorities, and fasting, I went ahead and created all of the tabs, because I love tabs, especially when I have a set color gradient for the theme. I love creating tabs and having them in that color gradient. So I have 4 tabs here, which was a little unusual. Usually I have 5, but I ended up doing 4 because I had 4 blues picked out. But after I had remeasured the tabs and created only 4, I ended up adding a blue, but then didn't go ahead and switch the tabs because I didn't want to add a page. But yeah, I started from top to bottom with the 4 colors from light to dark and did basically 2 layers on each as well. Did one, left it to dry, then came back and did it again. I of course protected the edges with washi tape because I didn't want the acrylic paint to get everywhere, and then I started doing the other side as well. This is one of my favorite parts of this theme, just seeing all of the blues together. They look great on the craft paper, and also the best tabs that I've ever done. So crisp, so clean, no mishaps. Chef's kiss. Now moving forward to the weekly log. Usually when I do tabs, I do the same weekly style for all of the weeks, and then I usually do some variation of this weekly style. So it's basically the page divided into 3 columns and 2 rows. Is that correct? I believe so. And then basically I rounded the corners of them all before outlining the rectangles, and then used the letter stickers to create the days of the week. So because it's 6 sections, obviously we're gonna have a joint weekend. And then for some reason I went for the entire word form, so Sunday entirely, rather than just sun, you know? And I think that's part of the reason why I ran out of a lot of essential letters, but it ended up working just fine. I love the tiny stars that are created because of the rounded corners, and here I'm just doing the same thing to the other page using the size 11 circle in my circle stencil or ruler to round all of the corners for all of the boxes before outlining the straight edges, I guess, and adding the headers with the stickers. So because it's the same weekly style for all of the weeks, I did the 2 in the middle off camera also to test how it's gonna look before I started filming. And then the last one is gonna be half a week, or half a spread, half a double weekly. It's 1 week. It's 1 week, and the other side of the page is gonna be something different. But March ends on a Tuesday, so I wasn't really sure what I was gonna do about that. Did I wanna include April in here? Do I not want to include the last 3 days of March in here? But I really needed to fill this side of the page because I wanted to have my monthly review on a separate page, the very, very last one, for a reason that I'm gonna tell you later. So what I ended up doing is creating the 3 days for March, but also including the last 4 days of the week of April. Because I didn't have enough stickers, I used black nail art stickers for the last 4 days because they are not part of March, and April's theme is gonna have black, so that was just fine. On the other page, I wrote goals in action using both the fancy font and the nail art stickers and adding a simple border. But that's basically it for these 2 pages. Lastly, we have my March in review, and this one I really left it until the day of filming to decide what I wanted to do, which obviously led to some mistakes. So let's start from the beginning. I lettered March in the fancy font and then used the stickers to letter in review besides that, and then started on the boxes. So I wanted to have all the boxes be different sizes, but also connected, but also have rounded corners. And I had to sketch and erase multiple times, and in one of those iterations where I really liked how everything was proportioned and such, I ended up forgetting to erase one of the lines, and I ended up inking it, but I don't have anything to put in that category or in that small space because it's supposed to be part of the space above it. That's not making a lot of sense right now, but you will see what I mean. So once I was done with outlining all of the boxes, I started on the lettering. But also because the boxes are not the same size and the ones that are not beside each other, we don't get any stars created in between. We get this weird bracket style, if you know what I mean. And then I also forgot and then lined horizontally to close off the boxes where I'm supposed to put the headers. I did that at the top, so I decided to do that for all of the boxes and just place the headers on top of them. And here I've added a few sections and such. We have my OG categories of highlights, challenges. Accomplished is replaced with achieved because accomplished is too long of a word. We have to get to, reboot instead of reset, goals, progress, finance, and favorites. So yeah, a couple of categories added, and I had to get creative. It's called reboot because I ran out of the S and the T, I think. But that's basically it for my theme of March 2026, March under the sea. This is very exciting. I love the result so much. It's simple yet elaborate, and I got it done very early, which I'm really happy about because for the theme events, I like to go all out and at the same time not, spend 3 weeks creating it. So this was a really nice in between, and the result is gorgeous. Let me know in the comments what you are doing for your own Bujo theme setup, maybe planner, Hobonichi. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.